So yeah, you're welcome to Sparks and Blues. So today I'll continue from where we stopped the last times, where I spoke about, my blue moments in my career and how I transitioned from being a clinical nurse into the business side of healthcare. So yeah, I think I ended the last conversation with when I was, advised to move to sales. So I can say today I'll be talking about the sparks angle of my career so far. And I would like to state that I began to experience my spark moments from when I moved into sales. And sales represents majorly the business side of things. Um, During the period while I remained unpromoted for about 8 consecutive years, yeah, I was promoted once, by the way, but for that extensive period of time, what I focused on majorly was learning about leadership, learning about managing people, building relationships, understanding the business environment, taking on courses. I spent the period taking on an MBA, doing a professional course in marketing, and doing some professional course in insurance as well. So I was building myself up during that time. And like I always tell people, how prepared would you be when your time comes? I am a strong believer that every one of us have our time as allocated by the universe, which is, of course, God. And while I was going through all those blue moments, like I said, I kept on improving on myself, building myself, studying, learning, you know, and viewing the future. I believe that I wasn't going to be staying there forever. I knew I had a lot yet to come for me, and I kept getting myself prepared. So the time came where I then got a role after I resigned. I got a job. Just imagine me moving from a senior officer to becoming a senior manager. At that point, I checked with most of those, seniors or people that tried to sort of bring me down for a long period of time. And within the industry, I became immediately at par with them and even above some of them. I joined a bigger brand, and I think I was at that time the number two staff at that organization. I was saddled with a lot of leadership responsibilities, and I'm so grateful to my creator that I was able to meet up, I was able to deliver. I was able to set up structures. I was able to set up a sales team. I was able to do, a lot of things I may not be able to just for not that are not necessarily for the purpose of this video. Yeah, but I soon became successful on the role. Why did I become successful? I believe because I had a waiting period, I had a waiting season that was not wasted. I utilized my waiting period positively. I utilized my waiting period properly. I built on relationships, built on my career, built on myself, went back to school, gained some qualifications that propelled me and prepared me for my new role. So I was able to begin to experience my sparks because I had more money, I was paid more. I got an official car, I got a driver. Things just changed for me, And yeah, so that was it. Yeah, despite being a registered nurse, I was able to move into, business side of things. I was able to become a decision maker, taking decision for business reasons for an organization, leading teams, and all of those things, getting involved with strategic matters. Yeah, it was a good time. The feeling was great. The spark started, and I was definitely having a good time. So what am I trying to tell us today? The fact that you're experiencing blue moments doesn't bring you to the end of your career, doesn't bring you to the end of your relationships. What I think, and I would rather advise, is that you should be aware that these are your blue moments, these are blue emotions. However, they can definitely propel you or lead you into your sparks. And it's important that you take charge of the negative emotions you are experiencing at a season or at a time or at a particular period, either in your career, in your business, or in your relationships. And try as much as possible to make out positive emotions from there that would prepare you to begin to experience the sparks. Yeah, so after that, while I worked on that role, I soon got my first CEO role. I got an offer to head a health insurance organization as a chief executive, and that was a really big spark for me. That propelled me into what I would term like greater heights. Of course, I was given a better official car. I got, I think, 300% increase in my salary. That was a massive spark for me. And things generally changed for me. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you it wasn't challenging. I'm not going to tell you it was just like icing on a cake. Never. I had to put in the work. It was a whole new dimension, a whole new experience. But then because I was prepared, my waiting period was spent preparing myself for these senior roles. I was able to fit in. I was able to sit properly at the table. I grabbed my chair and I sat properly with my head tall. It was such a competitive position, but I was able to pull through. I served in that organization for over 3 years, and I was able to grow their figures from loss into profitability. I was able to expand the organization. A host of positive things happened during that 3-year period. And I can say to you today that that moment was a massive spark in my career. And you can see the way, I explained the transitioning and, I started dealing with regulators and a whole lot of big things where, began to happen in my career. And that is it basically. So I would like to encourage my listeners today, my viewers, that when you experience the blue moments, the blue emotions, do not be afraid. Do not be dejected. Do not assume all is over. Take it as a time to reflect and as a time to work harder. Hard work has never been out of fashion and it will never be out of fashion. It remains the key to taking you to the next step, to the next stage, propelling you and preparing you for the future, for that dream that you have, or you probably have been chasing and you've not been able to touch, that has given you the blue moments. What then enables you to enjoy the spark in the end is your capacity and your ability to work hard and to discredit, or let me say dishonor, the negative feelings and focus more, hold on strongly to the positive ones. Thank you so much for listening.